as we were negotiating in Washington and even in Rwanda, that there was still militarization on the ground with new weapons, with new attack drones, with new armored vehicles and new mercenaries. You know that we have new mercenaries on the ground now.
Well, the FDLR have just released a public communique asking for direct dialogue with the Rwandan regime. Well, that is part of the story that I'm going to tell you in this video, what that long communique by the FDLR meant and what are they telling the Rwandan regime right now as there is an escalation of tension in eastern DRC. In this video, as well, I'm going to tell you about the new mercenaries that have joined the FARDC to fight the M23 in eastern DRC. We have new information about these new mercenaries. You know of the Romanian mercenaries that went out through Kigali. Right now, we have information of these new mercenaries that have joined the FARDC to fight the M23 that got deployed in Uvira just yesterday with the FARDC and the Burundian National Defense Forces regrouping to face the M23 as the escalation continues in eastern DRC. Well, this is Bonafide. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe and hit that notification button so that when I release something new on the eastern DRC crisis, you get notified as soon as possible. Well, we've been talking on so many accounts regarding the FDLR, this group that the Rwandan regime says that it is a destabilizing force that is embedded in eastern DRC, that the Rwandan regime says is being supported by the FARDC, the Kinshasa government, to cause chaos in eastern DRC, which Rwanda also says that it is the main cause as to why the Rwandan regime is very much concerned about what is happening in eastern DRC. That FDLR has now released a public communique saying that they want direct negotiations with the Rwandan regime. But because this 4-page document is very long to read out in this video word by word, I have gone through it and I have analyzed it, and I will give you the keynote points that the FDLR has raised to the Rwandan regime, the international community, and everyone who is involved in what is happening in eastern DRC. The FDLR have expressed their firm attachment to peace, security, and prosperity in the Great Lakes region and affirmed their willingness to participate in all initiatives to achieve these goals. They highlight their past engagement in peace processes, including disarmament and cantonment initiatives and various agreements and conferences, for example, the Rome Declaration and Goma Conference. In one way or another, the FDLR is saying that we are ready to have peace in eastern DRC. But they went further to denote that they strongly deny being a terrorist organization or genocidal organization as they are portrayed by the Rwandan regime. They say that these are tactics by the Rwandan regime to divert international attention from its own crimes against humanity, war crimes, and acts of genocide in the Great Lakes region. In one way, the FDLR is pointing fingers at the Rwandan regime, saying that you are the people who are causing aggression in eastern DRC. We are not the ones. You are pointing your fingers at us because you want to shield your own crimes against humanity that is ongoing in eastern DRC. So the FDLR in this communique is pointing their fingers at the Rwandan regime, saying that you are the aggressors and we are not the aggressors as you postulate us. In this communique, the FDLR now says that their main core or their main mission remains the protection of Rwandan refugees in eastern DRC, who they claim are the survivors of the atrocities that were orchestrated by the Rwandan Patriotic Front since the 1990s. And they are determined to continue this mission until the refugees can return back in Rwanda in security and dignity. They are saying that they are there to represent the Rwandan refugees that are in eastern DRC and that they will not stop representing these Rwandan refugees until they are back in their country, Rwanda, and they participate in the political organization of Rwanda. The FDLR have also been very fast to criticize the international community in Rwanda. They have said that while the FDLR has responded to peace initiatives, Rwanda has demonstrated, in quotes, a brilliant absence and sabotage. They also accuse the international community of failing to uphold its commitments to support these initiatives, instead favoring the destruction of the FDLR by force. And this, perhaps they are referring to the Washington Accord that Rwanda and the DRC signed, where Rwanda's main aim was that the FDLR should not be supported by the Kinshasa government and that these top leaders of the FDLR should be repatriated back to Rwanda so that they can face justice. This is what now the FDLR is saying, that the international community has been unfair to them by seeing them only as the aggressors and not the Rwandan regime. The group has also called for political space and dialogue, as they have emphasized that the fundamental problem of the crisis cannot be resolved solely through political means, and they have advocated for a free and secure political space in Rwanda and a frank, constructive, and highly inclusive dialogue involving all parties as the only viable path to a lasting peace. Therefore, the FDLR are saying that they want a political space in Rwanda to go and contest, perhaps politically in Rwanda without prejudice. And the last keynote point that they have raised in that 4-page document is that they have condemned violence against their leaders. They are saying that their leaders have been targeted by the Rwandan regime, and they are saying that that is decapitation of their cause, that their leaders should not be targeted by the Rwandan regime. They should remain in Eastern DRC, and further, they should be included in the political organization of Rwanda. Well, that has come even as the Rwandan government has now come out to say that they are aware that there are mercenaries that are supporting the FARDC and that there is an arming up of the FARDC in Eastern DRC in planning on a possible assault against the M23. This is the Rwandan Foreign Minister Olivia saying these words while he was in Texas.
You all remember the Romanian mercenaries that were evacuated through Kigali. Now they are Colombian mercenaries that were hired by an American company, Blackwater. So this is something that we should keep on following, but in any case, Rwanda will do its part of the deal, and we hope that the DRC will also follow through its commitment.
Well, Blackwater is an American private military company that has been contracted before by the US government in Iraq, and right now it has been contracted also in Haiti to fight the gangs in Haiti, and now we are seeing that the DRC government has also contracted the services of Blackwater to assist the FARDC in fighting the M23 in Eastern DRC. Yesterday, I reported about the deployment of troops in numbers in Uvira, and it seems that these mercenaries were part of that deployment in South Kivu. Perhaps the DRC is awaiting an assault against the M23, but what we know so far is that the M23 is still holding fast in South Kivu and North Kivu, Bukavu and Goma, and they are saying that they won't let these two territories go before they go to a sit down with the DRC government in Doha. Well, I will keep updating you of the latest of what is happening in Eastern DRC regarding now, as the FDLR have done what the M23 have done. They have requested to have these direct talks now with the Rwandan government to discuss about their issues. Keep it bona fide.